Hello. Um, so I wanna discuss what's going on in Texas. That's my home state, and I've actually been pretty unaware of the condition of it. I don't watch the news. I'm really hardly ever on Facebook, which is where I would get that type of information. And I was confronted by someone yesterday, and they were actually pretty upset with me that I seemed cold about it. And I decided I needed to look into this because obviously I didn't know what was going on. And so I contacted my dad and I contacted my sisters and got a lot of information about the actual situation. And it's pretty bad. And, Texas in certain areas that never snow are getting completely dumped on, and there's power outages through the entire state. And I went into meditation about this and immediately got nauseous. I got pretty, pretty disturbed by the, the energy that I feel from while I'm in meditation about it. And this isn't a video to, to scare anyone or, to put more fear into the world, because that's not what we need. Actually, I'm hoping that it inspires us, inspires everyone to maybe to really, really look at this situation for exactly what it is, and to start realizing, like truly, truly understand that we live in a controlled environment. We don't live in a natural environment where weather is just natural. It's controlled, just like everything else is controlled, and it's controlled by the elite in their favor. And for them to target Texas, it actually makes a lot of sense, because Texas, a good friend of mine made the comment today, Texas is like the foundational core values, that America was started on. And Texas is a threat to the elite because it's big. People are they're in their ways, and they are going to fight for their freedom, and that is threatening to the elite who want to control. And for them to go in and create what I think they're calling it, like rationing power, is just fucked. The saddest part is that the technology exists. It's existed for so long to create free energy, and that is being withheld from us by the elite for control. And there's so many beautiful things that we can learn from this if we truly look at it and decide to see it exactly for what it is. And even where I'm from, it's not a huge city. It's a city though, but people are dependent on the system. They're completely dependent. And in my hometown, there is one company that controls pretty much all of the energy there, and they love to screw over everyone because that they know that they have that upper hand, and they make a shit ton of money off of everyone who uses their service. And that service right now is failing everyone. The service, the system across Texas is failing everyone. And Texas is just the beginning. And for a long time, us conspiracy theorists have been warning people about blackout. This is it. This is the blackout. This is the beginning, and this is not going to just begin and end in Texas. There are things that are going to be going on throughout the United States, because the United States is very important. It is really just like the head, and they're targeting the right areas that cause the most threat. And because we're so dependent on, because we've been so reliant on the system for everything, they completely took us away from our community environment. They completely took us away from relying on the neighbor. They completely took us away from relying on ourselves to be able to have energy, to be able to have a fire when we need it. Everyone is connected to a grid system that provides energy, and that system can turn off whenever the hell it wants to, and then everyone who is reliant on them is screwed. There are people who have literally no idea what they're going to do to stay warm, you know, because nobody is being taught anymore how to provide for themselves and live sustainably. That is, energy is the source of everything. The water, how are you going to have water if you can't use your water pump, for instance? You know, there's just so many things connected that we've got to learn. We have to go back to the old ways. I'm sorry about the workers. It just happens to be right now, and I had to deliver this message. But this is the time. This is the message. The message is huge for us that have eyes to see it. The message is become your ancestors. Become who you were in your tribal mentality. You are your ancestors. It is time for us to go back to the way of not relying on a system. Create your gardens in your backyard. Create them in a greenhouse. Do whatever you need to do. Get rain barrels. Have a water source, a backup water source. Have wood stored. Have some clay pot, something where you can make a fire, so that these things do not happen continuously, and people are dying because of this. That is their goal. Their goal is to do as much damage as they can before all of the good starts, before JESARA starts, before Tesla towers are put up. We have that ability, and it is coming. But y'all, as everything does, it gets worse before it gets better. But we can be prepared, and this is your message. Me telling you, prepare. Please start now creating your sustainable living sources. If you haven't already, start now. This is the blackout that is going to affect everybody in the U.S. and probably across the world, because right now in Costa Rica, we are having a drought, and it is unusual. And that affects us, you know. Luckily, you know, on our property we have a rain barrel, and we have some things to withhold us while we're in a drought. But we have to be mindful, and we have to think about the collective, our community. Like, I'm not just going to stand in the shower for 30 minutes. You know, I don't do that anyways, because I'm very, very aware of water usage. Water is a beautiful, beautiful source, and we have to honor her. But this is just, this is the message. Begin now. I hope you hear me, and I love y'all so much. And take this, please, as a message of hope and inspiration. And truly, I love you, and I'm praying for Texas. And let's all just, on here, like in this feed, let's use it to maybe share some knowledge, share some ways that we can all benefit from the community that we have online, the virtual community, and just share maybe some information and talk to each other. Like, I love y'all. Ciao.